Yo, peace, what up? This is StereoPHiX 888. I'm the SouthWst Shaman. I'm also known as your SouthWst StereoPHiX, and I'm here to give you some game. I'm here to give you some game because this thing out here, this addiction thing, this war that we're waging. If you're out there using, you're knee deep in it, like right in the middle of it, and you can remove yourself, and life gets a lot easier. So this channel is all about recovery through creativity, knowledge of self, and lifestyle. Sometimes you gotta think about it, but anyway. Yeah, so we're trying to transcend the box that we live in, man. Let me get some light here. Shed some light so you guys can see me. I think I gotta get the lighting right. Matter of fact, hold up. Sorry. Maxie, I scared my cat. I keep leaving the camera. Lately, I've been leaving the camera a lot. Okay. So let me get you back up on there. All right, man. I got some gems for you. I got some gems for you. All right. If you're out there, man, if this is abstract recovery, peer support. I'm your peer, and if you look on the thumbnail, you'll see this. Right? I don't know if you can see it really well. Let me bust it. Let me just, so you could really, you see what that says right there? You see me? I mean, I'm pretty sure you see it by now. Alright, look at that picture, man. Look at that fucking guy. Alright, this is an official, this is an official identification card for a job, and there's a story behind it I want to tell before I get into the rest of this thing, man. That job is a place. It's a place that primarily works with people transitioning from homelessness and extreme mental health situations to a stable situation, or getting some help with various services. Long story short, man, as soon as I got the call I was hired for that job, I relapsed, because in my mind I said, maybe this is the last time I'll be able to get high. So I went and did the training high. It was 2 weeks of training. You know, I got through it, did well. I'm sure people noticed here and there or whatever, but I got fired on the first day because everybody who works there is like an expert because they used to use themselves. But when it came down for them to go test me, I was like, you know what, no, don't waste your money. This is a situation. And they said I could come back in a certain number of months. But I realized that maybe that wasn't the route for me, because I was going, when I went to get the job, I was under the assumption it was going to be a certain way, but it was something different, and it would have been a good experience nonetheless for me, and it was a great experience for what I did learn. I learned a lot about what goes on in that, behind the scenes in that, and how that operates. I learned a lot. And it's part of what resulted in the situation I'm in today. But like, the big thing is, maybe that wasn't how I wanted to go about doing peer support. So here I am, the SouthWst Shaman. And I'm the SouthWst Shaman because you come see me when nothing else has worked for you. Because I'm going to give you the abstract recovery, the unconventional recovery. But right now, I just want to talk about fear. And this is going to be a session where I'm going to give you some scripture. I'm going to give you a little bit, but you're going to have to look them up, okay? And I'll relate it to myself, too, as I go. If you know the story of Job, in that story, it's like there's essentially, in the book, God issues a challenge to the devil to see if he could turn him away from God. Okay, this is where I'm gonna hit you with some abstract thinking. Okay, this is where I'm just giving you my perspective, and if it works, if it helps you, then I hope those who have ears to hear it or a need to receive it, I hope that it finds them. Because what I want to put across is that the word, and for those of you who have been turned away from it, the word is about you. The word is about you. This story of Job is about you. I had to realize that what was I afraid of? Really? What was I really afraid of when it came to getting clean? Was I afraid of all the good stuff that could happen? I self-sabotaged with this job. When I went to get it, I was gung-ho about it. I was all ready to go. I had been certified and everything. But when I got that call, I said, let me self-sabotage. Knowing that, how am I I'm just going to get high for a couple of days or something. Yeah, right. Has that ever worked? So, in the story of Job, this is the key verse. Job 3:25. Job chapter 3, verse 25. What he says there is that what I have feared has come upon me. Was I afraid of that job? Was I afraid of being successful? Was I afraid of all the good stuff? Was I afraid of losing that lifestyle, regardless of how torturous it was? How much I was punishing myself? Was I afraid? Well, what I'm trying to get across is that what I feared would come upon me. So, here's the science behind that, you guys. I am an electromagnetic being of light. And the science behind it, for those of you who need that, and it helps to tie it all in, because really what science does is prove the spiritual texts that have been around and the ideas, the concepts. But what I want to say is that they know that the heart's magnetic field is 60 to 100 times stronger than that of the brain. And your brain is not your mind, but your brain, okay, your thoughts. So this is where, in the whole realm of manifestation and what I think is what I create, what you think can create emotions, which is energy in motion, right here. Which is why what you fear, because fear is going to trump whatever you got going up here, whether you're doing right or wrong. If fear is behind it, that's going to trump it. So like, because in actuality, there is no right and wrong. There is only what you believe in your subconscious mind. So like, that should relieve a weight from shoulders, because for me to know that everything I was doing, everything I did, it wasn't about right or wrong. But I punished myself that whole time for it. And then maybe I could have got past it sooner if I'd have stopped doing that. Realizing that whatever I was afraid of, so I was just attracting more of it all the time. You know? I was afraid to stop. So my career of using dope was fucking hectic as fuck. This is the powerful thing, man. This is the manifestation tip. This is the whole, how can you have, if the idea is that you can only have what you already have, like as in what you believe, who you, as you can, it more so applies to who you are, who you want to be, because everything coincides with that. So you can only have who you want to be, kinda, you know? So if that's the case, how is that going to be possible? Well, because when you feel something, say for instance you imagine yourself winning the fucking lottery or some shit like that. Feel it. Feel it. Okay, boom. Within the mind, not the brain, the mind is not held in the constraints of time. So that's how, when you go into the past and your past memories and you feel it, you really feel it, and you feel like you're there, and all of a sudden 10 minutes later you're like, oh shit, where was I? I was really deep in thought. Well, that's the mind. Well, you can do the same with the future, and you can feel it. This is energy emotion, because that's what emotions are. Okay? We're trying to get away from fear. So how do we get away from fear? What is the transmutation of fear? What is the opposite on the pole? What is the polarity, opposite end of fear? Courage, right? Courage. Courage. The only way I could really face my fears was courage every time. I would have to pick my nuts up every time that it came down to, I done fucked up so bad, the shit hit the fan, now I gotta have enough courage to go do this bid, go into jail, go into treatment, go face the music, go face the people I've disappointed, you know what I'm saying? That took courage every time. But it took away from my heart like a little bit every time, you know, until I was like not really, my vibration was so low. I went lower, y'all. I went lower, you know. So, what was I concentrating on? I was concentrating on the bullshit. I was concentrating on myself and how bad, like, I felt about myself, kind of in a way, like, or like, how hopeless I guess I thought, or like, I was focusing on those things, and in large, I was focusing on how fucked up my skin was, in a big thing, a big part of it. Therefore, if that's my superpower is my focus, my concentration, because whatever, this is a formula, this is the alchemical formula. Whatever I use concentration and focus with, in combination with love, equates to growth. Let me repeat that. This is an alchemical formula. This is alchemy. Focus and concentration times love equals growth. So you can see it with plants. Like, what's the idea? You plant something, put love into it, it grows. A relationship, you put love into it, it grows. But what happens when fear is involved? That's false evidence appearing real. It dies. It dies. It dies. So, I want to go back to the thing I hit you with earlier. The word is about you. The word is about me. When I read it, I can understand now that this is a detailed manuscript. This is a detailed textbook astrological description, with esoteric description, with medical description about me and how I operate and how to free myself from the physical world in preparation for what happens when this physical fades away. Like it says, be still and know that I am God in Psalm 46:10. Now, if you just read that and know that it's talking about you, as in when God is within me, I can say that. I read that as it's written and leave it be. It's talking about me. As in, be still and know that I am God, because in Matthew 19:26 it says, with God all things are possible. So if I read the Bible, if I read the Word and understand that it's about, because God, I am you and you are me. We're all one. We're all part of the same consciousness. God consciousness. So be still and know that I am God. Like, this is talking about those spear situations. Draw on anything. Any time when I was courageous, and know that I am God and I preside above all these things, because God is within me. So, no, I'm not trying to say that I am God. I'm trying to say that channeling the Spirit once you're doing that, once you've found that, this book is about you. Like the 7 trumpets in Revelation. This is referring to the 7 chakras. They want to take the power away from you, man. They want you to think that you're separate. They want you to be as attached to this physical and think that it's outside of you. Like, you don't, okay, even if it was, how the fuck, where do you go when you pray, man? You go inside. Where do you go when you meditate? You go inside. So, realizing that, I had to say to myself, that's where God is. So I started to look. I started to take the suggestions of the things that I was learning about. I started to like thirst for knowledge, and as I was learning, the only way knowledge becomes wisdom is once it's applied, once it's lived. So I was able to find God. And like it says in Matthew 19:26, with God all things are possible. Because energy in emotion is energy in motion. And I'm about to take it there. So I love y'all. Ride with me on this, man. I got some of the hottest music. I'm about to define the sound of Arizona. And I'm doing it with my man Residue, Bobby Noggin Productions. Peace to my homeboy Mello. Welcome home. Peace to everybody out in California going through it. Like and subscribe for the journey, because this is a journey. So if you follow with me, you'll see the growth, you'll see the progression. And I'm hitting you with a lot of different, I'm coming at you from a lot of different angles. Because I have a lot of different crafts. And that's what I do. I'm an artist. I am creative in many dimensions. And there's just all these different sides of me. So this is finally a way for me to extend that and share that, and I'm with it. I'm with it. So, yeah, son, the Arizona sun.